So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Yvette Cooper absolutely brutalising Suella Braverman. This was as bad as some of the verbal beatdown she gave to Priti Patel.
To her first full debate in the chamber in her new post. I think it's been, about 5 weeks since she was appointed, and I must say she's been busy. We've had a series of major public disagreements between the Home Secretary and the Prime Minister on restoring a net migration target, and then not, on leaving the ECHR, and then not, on reclassifying drugs, and then not.
You know, what's kind of important here is to say that Suella Braverman has kind of done... She's tried to really push towards the right-wing agenda here, and Liz Truss obviously not a fan of it. Liz Truss has called for more immigration to really help, alleviate the labour crisis, when Suella Braverman has said no. Even Rees-Mogg has said we need more immigration in certain areas, and Braverman said no. With the ECHR stuff, it seems evident Number 10 really don't want much to do with that, but... Clearly, Braverman does. I think she wants to make, weed, marijuana, a Class A drug, which is just madness, especially given that they found cocaine in the toilets in the Tory party press conference, and cocaine is found in the House of Commons toilets. So it's bizarre they would want to turn marijuana into a Class A drug when it's nowhere near as bad as any of the Class A drugs, or even as bad as cocaine, which evidently the House of Commons has a problem with.
On seasonal agricultural workers, still unresolved.
Yep, farmers are having massive issues. Sorry, I'm pausing a lot here, but these are important things to note. The farmers are having massive problems with labour shortages due to the end of freedom of movement, and the fact that British people don't want to do those sorts of jobs. The visas that they're giving out are not fit for purpose, and they're not worth time for people to come here. That's a massive problem. The way they're set up is very bad, but I've covered that before.
Claiming the Prime Minister didn't see small boats as a priority, didn't want her to talk about Rwanda, some kind of row with the Business Secretary about florists that nobody could follow, and on the Indian trade deal, something which the Prime Minister had been working on for years, which the Home Secretary seems to have single-handedly scuppered with a passing remark in an interview with The Spectator. And the latest story this morning that the Home Secretary isn't actually involved in immigration policy decisions at all, when it's at the heart of her department.
They've sidelined her. So what happened was for the India trade deal to go through, Modi wanted it to be easier for Indian citizens to get work visas in the UK, and Braverman is against that, and that's one of the reasons why she was sidelined in negotiations, despite the fact that visas and work permits are one of the things that the Home Office has to deal with.
You have got to worry, you've got to wonder if there is anything that the new Home Secretary and the new Prime Minister actually agree on.
Burn.
Although, to be fair to the Home Secretary, it's not clear that the Prime Minister agrees with herself from one day to the next. There have been so many different U-turns that the Cabinet is just spinning in circles. And I have to say, I've seen 11 Home Secretaries come and go. I've never seen anything like the chaos and confusion that we've got now. There are disagreements from time to time, of course, but the scale of this actually is dangerous, because the Home Office is too important. On issues of national security, on crime, on migration, we need the sense that there is some stability, that the people at the top are capable of self-discipline, that there is collective Cabinet responsibility, and that at least on home affairs, they're making statements in the interests of the country, not as if they are still in a leadership campaign. Although I guess that is exactly what is going on.
And that she could be right about that. That maybe Braverman is placing herself to run again in the Tory party race if there is another one, by trying to do what Liz Truss did to Boris Johnson, which is basically kind of out Brexit and out right winger, which would be quite fun, or not fun to see, because she might be PM. Fun for the spectacle, but not the rest of it. But I don't think they'll pick Braverman. One, she's a minority, which Tory members don't like, and B, she's not that well known. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can. And yeah, this was a real fatality of a Prime Minister who handpicked her Home Secretary, really disagreeing with her on a lot of things. And yeah, I'll see you next time.